If you're considering buying an electric vehicle, you've probably encountered conflicting headlines. Some claim EVs pollute more than gasoline cars. Others warn that batteries fail early and cost a fortune to replace. Some argue the electrical grid cannot handle widespread adoption. Before making a financial decision that could affect you for years, you deserve clarity, not noise. According to life cycle analyses from the International Council on Clean Transportation, electric vehicles typically produce significantly lower total greenhouse gas emissions over their lifetime compared to gasoline vehicles, even when battery production is included. So instead of reacting to headlines, let's examine measurable data and practical ownership realities so you can make a decision that fits your life. One of the most common concerns is battery lifespan. A large-scale Geotab study analyzing thousands of EVs found that average battery degradation is approximately 2.3% per year. Let's translate that into practical terms. If an EV starts with 300 miles of range, after 5 years, you might expect around 270 miles. That is gradual aging, not sudden failure. Most major manufacturers offer battery warranties of 8 years, or between 100,000 and 200,000 miles. That coverage exists because battery systems are engineered for long-term durability. Instead of asking, will the battery die? A more useful question is, will it still meet my daily driving needs? The average American drives less than 40 miles per day. Even with modest degradation, most modern EVs comfortably exceed that requirement. Another frequent concern is charging and battery health. You may have heard that fast charging destroys batteries. Research indicates that heat exposure plays a larger role in long-term degradation than charging speed alone. Occasional high-power charging during road trips has limited long-term impact. What matters more is consistent exposure to extreme heat and maintaining 100% charge for extended periods in high temperatures. In other words, charging behavior influences longevity, not isolated charging sessions. If you understand this distinction, you can adjust habits and reduce long-term risk. Cold weather performance is also widely discussed. Yes, lower temperatures can temporarily reduce driving range by 10 to 30% depending on conditions. However, this is largely due to increased battery resistance and cabin heating. Demand, not permanent damage. Modern EVs use thermal management systems to regulate battery temperature. When temperatures rise, efficiency typically returns. If you live in a colder climate, the key is adjusting expectations and planning realistically, not assuming structural failure. Fire risk is another emotionally charged topic. Data from transportation safety sources indicates that gasoline vehicles experience more fires per 100,000 vehicles than electric vehicles. EV fires behave differently due to lithium-ion chemistry, which can make them appear more dramatic in media coverage. When evaluating safety, statistical frequency is more meaningful than visual intensity. Understanding the difference between visibility and probability helps you interpret risk more accurately. Now let's address cost. Upfront purchase price often dominates the conversation. While some EVs have higher sticker prices, total cost of ownership includes energy costs, maintenance, and long-term reliability. Battery pack prices have declined more than 80% over the past decade. According to industry tracking data, charging at home is often significantly cheaper per mile than fueling with gasoline, depending on electricity rates. EVs also eliminate several maintenance items common in internal combustion vehicles, such as oil changes, exhaust systems, and complex transmission components. If your goal is long-term budgeting, rather than short-term comparison, lifetime cost matters more than purchase price alone. Infrastructure and grid capacity are also common concerns. Public charging networks continue expanding each year across major markets. However, it is important to recognize that most EV owners charge at home overnight. That means daily driving typically begins with a full battery. Smart charging systems allow energy usage to shift to off-peak hours, reducing grid strain. In some regions, vehicle-to-grid technologies are being tested to allow EVs to feed power back during peak demand. When you examine how energy systems adapt over time, claims of inevitable grid collapse become less convincing. Range anxiety is often cited as a major barrier. Modern EVs commonly offer between 250 and 350 miles per charge, For drivers whose daily commute is well below 50 miles, this provides substantial buffer. Navigation systems increasingly integrate charging stops into route planning automatically. Long road trips may require structured planning, but they are not impractical. In many cases, driver experience reduces anxiety more effectively than additional range. Depreciation and resale value depend on market demand, incentives, brand perception, and supply levels. Fuel type is only one variable among many. Used EVs often retain battery warranty coverage, reducing financial uncertainty for second owners. If resale matters to you, analyzing warranty terms and market trends provides more clarity than relying on general claims. Electric vehicles are not perfect. Gasoline vehicles are not perfect. Every technology carries trade-offs. But when you base your decision on measurable data, instead of headlines, you gain control. The goal is not persuasion. The goal is informed decision-making. When you understand degradation rates, warranty coverage, energy costs, and infrastructure trends, you are no longer reacting emotionally. You are evaluating rationally. Real owners look at data, not headlines.